Just anything.
It literally makes me want to play Nintendo. Zelda, Dragon Warrior, or something like that.
Dude, do you remember how hard those games used to be?
Difficult.
Do you remember how literally...
I never beat Dragon Warrior.
No.
I played that game for...
Okay, so I've started playing this game called Dark Souls 2, and it reminds me of those old, hard-ass Nintendo
Welcome
games.
to House Podcaster.
Difficult.
This will be our last Game of Thrones discussion
Outrageously
podcast for
difficult.
41 weeks. We will be back on the season premiere for season 5 the following day.
41 weeks, really?
41 weeks is how long we have to wait.
That really sucks.
Yeah, well. I'm Joel Henderson, with me, as
Jeremy
always,
Vasitis.
Jeremy Vasitis.
New to the podcast for the past couple weeks.
Hi, I'm Big Al. You might know me as Big Al.
Yeah. Hilarious every time.
Yep.
We are just in general discussion mode. No books, right? I just want to say that right off the bat. We are not discussing any book items. If you know book items, don't be one of those clever little shits that kind of smirks knowingly when I ask something. I don't want to know that. I'm sure we've all met those people that will let you know based on their reaction to what you say. Like you can't say something predictive without them going, well,
I'll tell you what.
or no.
The guy I work with that I do talk about, he's read it kind of ahead. He's done that to me. I thought he was doing that to me, but he's even like purposely led me in the wrong direction.
Oh, so he's going the opposite way.
So
with
he's
it.
but when everything was said and done, I was like, okay, he was pretty clever about not fucking.
So he didn't ruin anything for you in retrospect.
Nothing. He didn't.
Okay, well that's
Book
not
people
bad.
are
good.
always like that, man.
Like really, like I got to be honest with you, dude. Like I didn't tell you or anything, but he had me fucking scared to death that Tyrion was gonna die.
Oh, like he made you believe he
I
died.
said something to him about it, and he was just like, "Well, dude, it's a dark story," and I was like, "Fuck, man," you know. I'm like, "Don't fucking." And
Yeah,
that
that's
even
awesome.
had me like more on the edge of my seat.
That's kinda
watching
hilarious,
that
then.
episode. So he did. He
Well
got
done.
Me.
Well done, guy.
Yeah, douche. He got me. Asshole got me. He did. I'll give him that. But so anyway, so what are we going to start this discussion?
I don't know. We started watching only because I only have season 2 on Blu-ray. We started watching the in-episode guides, or whatever you want to call them, the special features at the end. And one that struck me and Big L as I was falling asleep, and he was wide awake because it was like 6:30 in the evening, and there was no reason for me to be going to bed.
Yeah, it was fucked up, man. He
sound
just
like
all of
me
a
over
sudden
the
passed
weekend,
out,
dude.
man. I was
just-
like, what the fuck?
I
was
cannot
it.
keep my
I
head
was
up
done.
yesterday.
So we're watching, and he's like, "Dude, wake up! Rewind that. You got to see this." And what was the revelation, Big L?
That, the Greyjoys
Yes.
of the Iron Islands,
Yes.
of the island of Pike, or whatever the...
That's the
Yes.
capital, right?
What, blah, 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 yeah.
All right.
Their ancestor, 1,000 years ago, laid down a mermaid and made it its wife. So Theon Greyjoy is part mermaid. That's what it said.
They now here's how I took that. I took that to mean in a mythological sense, like
Right.
how but
I took it literal,
Could it be
for
taken
sure.
literally in this universe? Is there any possibility? I thought it opened up an interesting discussion.
Why
I
not?
mean, like,
How
you'll
could that
like,
work
Even
in-
if you watch those things, you'll get different perspectives and people's different views on those kinds of things, like those theological or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah,
something
mythological, I guess you'd say, yeah.
Well, it's even the theological because it's their like gods and beliefs and stuff like that. It's what they.
Yeah, they didn't take
Wasn't that like
any of
Greek
the
mythology?
gods. What?
Well, theology is like. Is that just the study of the Bible and things?
I don't
like
know.
that? Okay, well, anyway, that's a different discussion. But it's like you hear like from the Greyjoy's point of view,
Yeah.
and then if you hear that same story or account from like another like Tywin Lannister, like he just completely writes it off as bullshit.
Well, could it be like one
You know
of
what
the,
I mean?
could it be
Like,
a
it's-
siren?
Something like that. Like I guess I don't really remember that one like off the top of my head.
I mean,
but-
why can't it be? I mean,
can't- I'm
obviously
not-
it was
I'm not
1,000 years
gonna-
ago.
I'm
He's
not
not.
gonna dispute it.
There's
There's
barely any
been
mermaid
magic-
in the bloodline.
Magic,
anyways.
giants, dragons. There is nothing that's not possible. With
Right.
talking
I mean,
about
are
in
they
this
gonna
world.
drop
Why
a-
is it? Why would it not be? I mean, so yeah. I mean, these people that come from these places actually believe they descend from whatever
Yeah.
whatever their people come from, whatever their backstory is. Like I think that's what it was like. Was that the history of the Greyjoy family?
Yeah,
or
it was
whatever?
something like that.
How
Yeah,
they
his
took over,
sister's
became
the
about
one
those
that said it,
islands
I
or something
think.
like that, and like. Yeah, I mean, that they believe they come from those things. So yeah, I mean, if he believes it, why not?
Yeah,
Why can't
'cause,
he?
I
Why is he
mean-
not part mermaid or part Kraken.
Fucking Bran
part,
can go into a wolf. I mean, what
Yeah.
the fuck?
I mean,
you know?
hey, dude, like seriously, like
The nothing's off the table here. I
Right,
mean,
hey,
but
man,
how
but why?
could
Why
that
not?
tie in? How could that benefit them, other than the fact that they're from the islands? Like, how could
I
that
mean, I'll
benefit
tell you what,
Theon?
they're like if you want to go into more detail about them, they're not in good shape. That whole house and everything is kind
Well,
of
yeah.
falling apart
No,
right now. They're almost driven to extinction. Like, well, not extinction, but they're driven back to just their islands almost.
Yeah,
now.
because Reek is the last Greyjoy, technically.
Brass
Well,
male
technically, but then
was.
there's.
Yeah, it was.
Was a male.
I mean, like
Well,
he's
he's
not
a Munich.
reproducing. I'm pretty
He's
sure.
not
like,
a Munich. It's fucking
I know
Munich.
he's not a
He
Munich.
did it
You
on
said you're not
purpose,
going to do
no.
drops, so I'm just going to have to say it every time.
Oh,
So that's like a drop.
so I just won't acknowledge it from now on.
I
Is
mean,
that what
that's
we're doing?
fine. Should I
Okay.
come up with a drop voice?
No.
I'm going to do that. Okay.
I hate him sometimes so much. You have no idea.
I super hate you.
Yeah,
I
all the
super
time.
hate you.
I know. I got a yo-yo. No.
A
dude,
yo-yo
I really-
during a podcast.
Yeah, it's a Spider-Man yo-yo. Uh-oh.
What was that?
That's your gentle child knocking on the door.
Is that my kid? Oh,
It's got to
yeah.
be. Sawyer doesn't knock
What do
like
you
that.
want, KJ? Go play, buddy.
I really like those things. I enjoyed the House Tyrell one.
Which one?
The one
Oh,
Marjorie
you
was
mean
saying
where it was going through all
about
that?
the rose and stuff.
Yeah, because I took it like they said it in the show that the rose was kind of a pussy. You know what I mean? But like the
when
way they made
when
it,
she says it the way she does, it makes total sense. Like she's set up to be the queen, right?
that's her aim. I would
That's
think.
her whole people's goal. That's why she was going to marry Joffrey no matter what, and
Yeah.
that's why she's just going to marry his brother. I mean, you would presume rather.
Yeah.
And then she would be queen of everything, and the Tyrells would finally be back in control. And if it doesn't work out, they'll
Were
just
they
fall
in
back.
control before? Is that what they were saying?
No, they were stewards. They got gifted their house.
But by I think it was it Aegon Targaryen.
It was Aegon, I believe, because that's who Robert Baratheon took
Yeah.
the crown from, correct?
No.
You know what I just
Aerys
realized is
Targaryen.
we're probably
Aerys,
just
oh.
essentially reading the books by watching the behind-the-scenes features. They're probably including the stuff that wasn't included in the TV show.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I'm thinking.
'Cause
Like,
they're
that's
pulling
probably
it
why
from
the-
like,
source
it's like
material.
when you
Yeah.
yes, because when you're watching it, like you're getting like in the book, you get the person's thoughts.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? What they're thinking about while they're talking.
'Cause
and
that's the
everything.
way you can do
'Cause that's
things in books.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, and it doesn't feel like a cheap voiceover in a book.
Exactly.
For some
And
reason.
And I think it's
Well, that's
what
probably why they
that's what
didn't
they're
use
trying
the
to do by
mermaid.
sticking those things in those in episode guides. It's almost the kind of same thing. Like when that light pops up, it's kind of like here's what Bran is thinking right now about.
Oh, okay. That
You know
makes
what I'm
sense.
saying?
So in a way, we are reading the books.
It all comes from the same material.
Yeah.
then.
Yeah. I just.
Yeah, and they probably didn't put mermaids in the actual show. Cause
I know I've
mermaids are
told you
lame.
guys, but I feel like I should explain my anti-book stance on this. It's that The Walking Dead, when I was reading the comic book in conjunction with watching the show, there was a storyline that did not appear, or that appeared in the comic book, that didn't appear at that time in the show. So I read up to a certain point and then stopped reading, but something that they didn't play out during what I had already read, it played out later and put it into another storyline, and it was like, oh shit, okay, so I see exactly where that plot line's going now, you know, because I knew where it ended up before.
Yeah.
And like that's
And
what
so I
you-
was just worried about that happening on Game of Thrones, where if I read something, I don't want it to be where, I like TV. I like watching TV.
Yeah, but they're not going to show that on the behind the scenes. They're not going to give spoilers away. They're not going to. I mean, they're not going to give spoilers away on the behind the scenes for
No.
season 2.
And that's
no
a-
matter whether it's from the book or not.
Maybe that's how I justify to myself watching that versus and then being so
Oh,
adamant
what we
against
watched
book
was
people.
badass, man. That's how you justify.
I mean, I
it.
don't think I don't think they're presenting you any information in those
Yeah, no
things
way.
that could be
They wouldn't do
spoiler
that, man.
material.
So
later
that's
on.
probably the
But I
preferred
think there is
way.
some stuff
Yeah.
that, like, I mean, there's a lot of background stuff there that helps you really understand.
Yeah.
Dude, the
show and
House
why
Tyrell
and
stuff,
way
man.
these people feel the way they feel, like in like their stances and their beliefs on things. It makes you understand the characters more by watching these things and understanding their thoughts or whatever. You know what I mean? It's like,
We think about a prequel series after it's all done. Something
Oh,
set like
dude,
thousands of years in the past.
dude, like I'd love to see the Aegon Targaryen stuff. That
Like,
he
imagine-
came over and took over the.
you
Seven
know where
Kingdoms
it's
and all that
going.
shit. Like,
However,
right?
that could be really cool. And I bet you that would be a way that HBO would try to spin it off, rather
Dude.
than it just being Game of Thrones. Like they would just expand the Westeros universe. I don't know. It's a possibility, I guess.
Because
They want to be done in 8 seasons. People are going to want more.
There's no
So
way
they'll
that's
do
enough.
spin-offs. They'll do character spin-offs. I bet if they did 4 character spin-offs.
What do you mean
2 of them
character
would be-
spin-offs? The characters
just-
die all the time. You then couldn't
I
kill
don't
off the
know,
main
man.
character.
I think everybody's gonna die when winter comes anyway. So
Say you did
that's
it- say
That's
you-
how it ends.
Yeah, I
That's
mean,
it.
I'm annoyed. I was annoyed at even the spoilery titles of the books. I mean, you know the titles of the books at this point. Like, or you've heard them in passing, potentially, or
I was
glanced at
like
them.
Dances with Dragons. or
The
something
one
like
the one that kills me is it was Winds of Winter, and it's like, for fuck's sake, we really do have to wait till like the second to last or the last book for Winter.
Winter to get here.
God damn it!
Yeah. Why not? Winter's coming.
Well, how much time in their realm has
I
passed?
think
Since
4
we
years,
started?
like 4 or 5 years.
4 or 5 year period.
Now
Yeah,
you know
4
that
seasons.
that season 3 and 4 were both book 3.
I don't know. I don't give a fuck about the books.
No,
Pardon
it's
my
just,
language. I'm sorry.
It's a matter of pacing for timing so that we don't pass where the books are.
Yeah.
Because if we pass where the books are, then one of 2 things is going to have to happen. Either George R. Martin is going to have to give them broad brush strokes on where to start taking the characters, or they're going to, or he's going to have to finish the fucking books,
Or they're just going to have to
Or
take
they're just
over
gonna
and
have to
finish
do
their
it.
show.
figure out how to finish the show however they want. So that's why it matters.
Well, and
because
they might
now they
just
have
end up
season
doing that, I
4.
bet.
Season 5 is going to be book 4. And then season 6 will be book 5. And if they want to end it in 7 and 8, then they need books 6 and 7, which are the last 2 he's supposedly working on, but he's also talking about potentially doing another book.
So which means that, which tells
it
me
puts it
that
around
he
10
hasn't fucking
seasons.
wrapped it up yet. Even maybe he's close to done with the
Yeah.
last 2 books. And he's
How
like,
old
"Fuck,
is
I
this
haven't-"
guy? What's
Yeah,
this
Just
guy's
more and
background?
more
Does
just keeps
anybody know?
coming, and we need. I mean, dude, it's a story that, like, really, like, what's a clear cut end to where
They're
it's
going to
like,
have to wipe
boom.
out all the characters that we currently know at some point. Like, I could see someone like Kit Harington, Jon Snow, staying on it for fucking 20 years. But, like, somebody like Cersei, she's got to go at some point.
Well, yeah, what about
Jaime Lannister's got to go.
Marjorie could
Tyrion
stay.
eventually, even.
Well, yeah, they're all going to get old, but like, why can't like Marjorie or Khaleesi
But I'm
make it
saying,
through
no
the whole
matter
story?
where the show ends, where the book ends, there's people are still going to. Okay, what happens to him after that?
Now, unless
Yeah.
they scorch the earth in terms of just fucking burn everything and there's
Complete
no more
apocalypse.
people and
It's
it's
like,
just it's fucking
Winter
White
comes and
Walkers.
wipes everybody
It's just
out,
White
yeah.
Walkers and dragons left roaming the earth. So then it's literally a song of fire and ice, and they just play a nice song at the end, and then one half of the world is fire and the other's ice. Done.
I think I just threw up in my mouth a little bit. That'd be ridiculous, guy. Don't end like that. Like, that's up there with Dexter, dude. That's what I thought about the whole time you're
like,
describing
that
that.
would
It's
make
like, fucking
everything
Dexter.
pointless. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, all
What,
the
that they're
character
eventually going to
development.
wipe out everything?
Wouldn't it kind of just make it all like seem for naught? you
Well,
know?
now, wait a
Yeah.
second. If winter's as bad as it says it is, I mean, they're almost going to have to wipe everything out, because what are they going to do? Every episode just go to, like, 6 different homes because nobody can do anything because it's winter? Like, that'll get old real fast, man.
Oh, you mean when you say
Yeah.
homes, you don't mean like
See,
necessarily.
they're gonna
but
have
yeah,
to
I see.
like
Yeah.
they're gonna have to fight back the winter, man. Like,
How do you fight back a blizzard?
it's
They
the
don't
White
have clouds,
Walkers.
they don't have
It's-
silence.
In this world, it's the White Walkers. In this world, the White Walkers are winter. They embody winter. So something must have either cursed them or put them in a position where they had to be this for eternity.
It happens every 1,000
I
years.
think we had a
That's what they
discussion
were
at one
saying.
point in time where
Or
you
300 years.
where you even said that maybe the White Walkers weren't necessarily like
The bad guys.
bad guys.
Yeah.
Maybe they're a victim of circumstance
Yeah.
or whatever happened. They got cursed to be this way or whatever. You know,
Something
Maybe-
happened where we end up rooting for them.
we're gonna
Oh,
find out. Like,
You know?
maybe. Or there's a twist. Maybe Khaleesi comes over all evil with the fucking dragons, and the White Walkers and the people got to team up to fucking drive her off.
What if winter's
doesn't make
so
any sense,
bad
doesn't it?
that the White Walkers are just
That's
trying
really
to get
bad.
south?
Is that bad?
No, it's not that it's that bad. I mean,
Like I said, we
it's
weren't
ill
ruling
thought
anything out.
through at the moment. If we talk it through, we might be able to poke all the obvious holes and then fill them again.
Right.
But it
Winter's
sounds
so
kinda
bad, the
like-
White Walkers are going south.
Well, that's exactly what they're gonna do. But they got to get to
Yeah.
the wall first.
What do you
And
mean
I'll tell you
winter's
what,
so bad?
I
That's
don't-
how bad winter's
Why
going
are
to
you
be.
yelling,
That
big
the
guy?
frozen zombies
so like,
have to go
okay,
south.
here's how does that work? When they pull up to the wall, whatever their forces might be.
Yeah.
The walkers of the dead. It's just a bunch of fucking dead guys, and they're just gonna start climbing the wall like zombies, and the White Walkers are gonna start hitting the gate with whatever like zombie giants they might have, because that, I mean, if they can bring giants back, why the fuck not?
If they've not burned them, if people who've killed the giants haven't burned them.
Yeah.
Now, is it just me, or did Mag the Mighty seem totally different than the previous giant we had seen?
Which one's Mag the Mighty?
Mag the Mighty was the one that they killed in the tunnel.
Oh.
It seemed totally
I was
different
just
than
gonna
the
say, he
giant
had a
that we
hard
saw
time
that was
pulling the door
pounding.
open.
Why did it have to be
Yeah.
the same giant?
I'm not saying it's the same giant. I'm saying it looked totally different from the one that was pounding the stakes into the ground with its bare hands, with Egret. It seemed like it was built different. Like that giant proportionally seemed different. Is it just that it was
I
like a
didn't
fat
think so.
giant?
I thought it looked the same.
Yeah?
It was probably
Yeah.
the same giant, man.
I don't know that it was Mag the Mighty that was doing that. But
He said it, didn't he? When he was talking about the giant's lineage, he said that the giant's
Well, yeah.
lineage.
Yeah, but there were two giants there.
Okay, well, see what I'm getting at. Okay, the White Walkers pull up at the wall. All right,
Okay.
and that's the point of the wall.
With
is to stop the
potential
fucking
zombie
White
giants,
Walkers.
yes.
Right. Okay. How now is Stannis leaving forces there? You imagine that he's going to reinforce the wall because he kind of knows what's coming because the Red Woman's been telling him so.
Well,
You know what I'm
Miles
saying?
Yeah,
said
right.
that
That's why he
Stannis.
went there in the first
he asked me
place.
how I felt about Stannis saving the day. Is that how you see it?
What do you mean?
Or at least
Miles
attempted
asked
to.
me if that's.
Well,
if,
he
if-
saved.
What did I
he
think of
saved
him
the
saving
fucking
the day?
the Night's Watchmen. Absolutely.
Yeah.
He
Okay.
saved them for sure. But if you're looking at it from the Wildlings' point of view, then no. I mean, like, we don't know yet whether or not he is going to agree to Mance Raydar's terms and let them through, possibly. Is he going to absorb the Wildling force into his own, or is he just going to leave them to fucking die on that side of the wall?
Yeah,
We
I
don't know whether or not he accepted that. We don't know that far yet. Whether or not he accepted, because I imagine that what Jon Snow meant by him saying, "My father would have arrested him and listened to
Taking
what he had
his
to
opinion, yeah.
say." Do you take that as he's going to sit down with Stannis and say, "Okay, here, if you let us through the wall, we're trying to hide. We don't want to fucking fight you. We want to get on your side of the wall because
Yeah.
this is what's coming." Stannis apparently knows what's coming, so why would he not agree to that? At this point, if he knows what's coming, they know it's coming. Why fight over it?
Yeah.
We're all human beings here.
I bet they get
I mean,
together, man. Because aren't there like 90,000 wildlings or something
well,
stupid like
now,
that?
well, the others out there was 100,000 of them or something.
There
His
was,
force.
yeah. So there's probably what? Even if there's 10 of them, 10 left. That's all Khaleesi's had in
Go
her
play,
army
buddy.
to start with. But still, yeah. There's gonna be I don't know. I can't wait 41 weeks. That's what sucks.
Well,
I'm
we're
not
gonna
reading
have
the
to wait
book.
You have to
Oh,
wait
yeah, I
41
know.
weeks unless you
I'll
want to
figure
go
something
ahead
out.
and read the books.
Fuck that.
What are you?
And I don't know that they're that much farther ahead of where we're at.
There's two books beyond what we've read, or beyond what we've seen. Book 4 and Book 5. He's got to do 6 and 7, and then potentially another one. But I guarantee you, it's going to be like a Harry Potter thing, where 5 years after it's over, if dude can live, if George R.R. Martin stays alive,
Yeah, how
I
old is this
guarantee
guy?
you that he has page upon page of backstory written down for the history of Westeros.
Absolutely.
And there's just so much to mine from that I don't think the ending of Game of Thrones would necessarily put the death knell in this world. You know what I mean? It wouldn't be the end of it. It wouldn't just be like, unless they did Scorched Earth, but they could still go back before that.
Dude, like it's almost like it's almost like Lord of the Rings. Like Lord of the Rings has that same kind of thing. Like
Where you
there's
could just keep
so
diving back into the
much
world.
Story in the world that yeah.
Is Lord of the Rings done?
No, they're doing the Hobbit movies.
The
right
Hobbit
now.
movies are coming out. The third Hobbit movie is being made right now, and there'll be 6.
Oh, I don't know
movies.
anything about Lord of the Rings.
Well,
or
dude,
the
here
Hobbit or any of that
I
trilogy.
compare it like this. Lord of the Rings is one of my favorites. I love the movies. And
I think-
stuff like that.
I think you've
and
said
even
that
now with the
before.
movies, if you add all 6 movies up at 3 hours apiece, is 18 hours of
Yeah.
Yeah.
content. I mean,
Oh, that's right. We
by
talked
that
about
now,
this
Lord
last
of the
time.
Rings
That's
or
40 hours
Game of Thrones
Game
is
of
for
Thrones.
40 hours. Bob
Yeah.
blows it out of the water.
Yeah.
There's lots of side stories and stuff they do, like they can pull from. It's almost like a Star Wars universe. Like there's novels and shit.
You know
like,
what I
all
just
things written
realized,
about,
too?
Like, right.
Fuck, this show should go on 10 or 12 seasons because they've only done 10 a year. It should go on that because they need to hit that 120 mark. They got to hit around that ballpark to end this. They deserve that many episodes.
Dude, I mean,
I would love to see that much more Game of Thrones. To know it's not even half over.
Dude, like,
I don't think you're going to kill this universe in the way that you could have by extending Lost.
They said it was super expensive to produce.
Yeah,
like
but
it's ridiculous. I get how popular it is, but they said it was like really, really super expensive. I forget what the number was.
Well,
man.
of course it's expensive to
but
produce.
It's, I mean, so to go on for 10 years,
It's going to just get bigger every year.
I mean, if they keep going, like, I can't. I mean, seriously, like,
They kill off actors so quick. They won't have all that buildup of old, people that are just collecting a paycheck after 7 years.
Yeah.
Well, besides like Jon Snow,
Yeah.
Or whoever
and,
ends up
Tyrion.
making
but
it.
that would be like your main characters in the show.
Marjorie,
I mean,
Sansa.
I don't give a fuck, dude. I'd still be watching it.
Yeah.
10 years from now, I'd be just as excited about every fucking episode coming out.
I don't know how they could. They would have to really ruin it somehow, and they would have to go beyond their end game. And I think the end game is who's going to finally lead this world united or something.
Right.
It's
That's what
gotta
it has
be,
to
right?
be, like a united world, like.
Marjorie
to where
Tyrell.
There's no
to
more.
answer your
There's no
question.
more fight. Nah, dude. See, I think she's a vicious bitch too in her own way.
Did
man.
you see the backstory of the House Tyrell?
Yeah.
It's all set up for her on a plate. She is actually. Here's the thing: is that she.
Yeah, you know how when she talked about it, or the grandma did about a rose and how lame it was, basically.
Right.
That fucking DVD or that Blu-ray extra made their house seem cool.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
know. Okay, about the rose, but the rose lives on, or whatever. The rose
Well,
always
no.
blooms, or always comes
Yeah,
back. or
something like
whatever
that. It was really cool.
Her family owes Khaleesi's family. Khaleesi's family is who set
The
gave-
Targaryens.
Yeah, that's who gave
Right.
the Tyrells their house.
Mhm.
So she's bound to serve Khaleesi. So once Khaleesi comes over and tries to take
Like
the,
the
fucking
original
continent
Lord
back,
was like he like when he died on the battlefield in the first battle against Aegon Targaryen, something like that. The original king of Highgarden, the one that they were stewards for.
yes, correct.
Aegon
Against
Targaryen
them.
wiped those dudes out and said, "Okay, this is your house now, as long as
Hey,
you're loyal to me."
Miles is calling in here.
Okay,
Hello.
Hey, what's up?
what's up, dude?
Not much. Am I too late?
No, you're good.
You're good.
We will have to. I mean, hopefully you can hear us. We can hear you just fine. You're on the air with us now. So, Game of Thrones season 4 ended. Before you say anything, we know you've read some of the books. Please do not speak of them or lead us in any direction based on info you may have, and
All right,
go
sounds good.
on thoughts after season 4.
Cool.
What did you think of the end of it?
What did I think of the end? Well, I think those skeleton whites were a little ridiculous, but
Oh, come on! That was all Legend of Zelda and shit.
I heard about that. That wasn't like.
I mean, I
necessarily
guess
part of it.
they gave some like tribute to some guy who had just passed away or something like that from some old movie. But I don't know, it was a little corny for me. I mean, Bran's whole storyline right now is just so. I mean, to me, it's just so disconnected from everyone else's that it's just a little hard to really get a grasp on like what's going on with him.
Yeah, it seems really trippy and. Yeah, I don't.
It's like everyone else.
Like
is
everybody's speaking in riddles. Everything else is pretty much straightforward, kind of in your face. You kind of know what's going on, but this brand stuff, right? It's really a little
A little cryptic.
acidish. Where did Big L go?
Oh, he went outside.
All right. We still there, Miles? Yo.
You there, Miles? Or do
Yeah,
we-
I'm there.
yeah.
I'm having a hard time hearing Jeremy speak. If that's
Oh, okay. My bad. You know what? It's probably because I'm so far away from the phone.
Oh yeah, yeah. It just he was just. I don't even remember what he said anymore. What did you say? You don't
What did I
remember?
say?
No, Jeremy. I was trying.
Oh,
to
he
get
was
you
talking
caught
about
up.
how Bran's story is disconnected from everything else, and it's kind of hard to grasp what's going on with him.
Yeah, the brand stuff just kind of feels like they're on acid compared to everything else.
Right. I mean, everyone else is like in this whole like, they're trying to like, get on the verge of fantasy a little bit, but Bran's is just like so hardcore, just like so out there that it's like, the rest of Westeros just thinks that, for only like maybe 2% even believe that those dragons are real, and everyone else, no one believes that the White Walkers are coming, and it's just like then you just got Bran, who's just like all hardcore there, having these visions, like he's a ward, just all this gnarly stuff is happening to him, and it's just like, okay, well. What's up with everyone else?
Oh, like why isn't he? Well, he should be able to tell somebody and then have them actually believe him.
Right.
It's like people have seen the White Walker. We saw that from nearly the first episode with Ned Stark chopping off that dude's head, the deserter. And everybody's just ignored that people are going, no, literally, I just saw one.
Right. I mean, the way I just kind of think of it is like, if someone sat there and told me that, the boogeyman was coming with an army of, evil creatures from under my bed, I look at them and think they're complete idiots, and that's kind of the way I try and relate to that. But
Yeah,
That's
okay.
a good.
very
That's
real
a,
thing.
that's a good.
That's a good point. I can see that. So he's getting all of this like crazy. It's like, no, really, all this stuff is true.
Like everybody that speaks to him speaks in riddles.
Yeah.
right.
Huh.
And I don't know, and I feel like that whole thing with like Jojen dying and him just like sacrificing himself to like the greater good, and like knowing that he was, that guy had said that Jojen knew he was going to die the whole time ever since he embarked on this quest. It's like they should have went on a little more backstory on like exactly why Jojen was having, or they like started having these dreams, and like why he was so important. But they just like completely disconnected him from even Bran's story. And he just like started getting sick all of a sudden, and it's like, okay, well, why was he sick? Why was he like fainting and almost about to die every 5 seconds?
Why did that guy have to be such a douche and say, I may have once been that form, or I've been many things, instead of just, I was the fucking Raven? How hard would that have been? Like everybody's, like you said, speaking in goddamn riddles, and that kid to just predetermined that he was going to die and do it anyways, and like you said, just getting sick and shit, just it's weird.
Now do you have any more information on that
you can't tell us?
Right, yeah, it's like, why didn't you even tell his sister, like, I know I'm going to die on this, or something like that, or like, I don't know. And then like he was having
Maybe
like,
his sister
visions
knew.
and stuff like that, and like not even telling anyone he was having these visions and like seeing all this gnarly stuff, and I don't know, they just didn't do a good enough back job of like.
Oh, okay. Even back a few episodes ago, when they were trapped in that tent, you remember when he lit his fucking hand on fire? What the fuck was that all about?
Yeah, that was like a vision or something like that. Like he was like he was like a green seer or something like that. Just like he was like being able to like see the future. But it's like, okay,
But no, he physically lit his hand on fire
from nothing, seemingly, right?
You don't
I think
remember
was
that?
just like a vision or something like that. I thought.
I don't know.
I
dude.
thought
Like,
I actually
lit
thought
his
he's
hand on
dead.
Fire.
I thought he just spontaneously combusted and like his purpose had been fulfilled and he was done. Like I thought that was it for
But
him.
do you remember that scene
Yeah.
I'm talking about? Like, what the fuck was that all about? Like, why did
Just
he?
turns to ash.
It
No one
was
knows
really
why.
strange.
Yeah,
His hand
he's just
lit on
gone.
fire. So you saying
Yeah,
that he was just kind of
gone.
imagining that, or that was just a vision?
Yeah, I don't know, because he was like when he was talking to that guy, that old guy from the Knights, or not the old guy, but that guy from the Night's Watch that was eating out of Sir Jorah's skull.
Right.
He just like looked at him and was like, he's like, I see you and like dying in the fire tonight, and then like he like shows his like his point of view, and he's like all looking at like fire and like sees this tree and stuff. And,
Driving home.
Go
Uh,
back.
Sorry, Caden just popped out here and said something. Continue. You there,
can you guys
Miles?
still hear me?
Yeah.
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 Okay.
Well, can
Yeah,
I
I don't
ask
know.
him
You
a
just-
question?
You have to talk a little
Oh,
bit
wow.
louder because it's over here. He only hears through the phone.
All right, so I have a so I have a question. Are you interested in LARPing? LARPing, role playing,
LARPing, like
fantasy.
Fighting with swords and stuff.
Correct. Nerf swords and whatnot. A whole little
Are you asking
realm.
me? Are you asking me? Is this was like a serious question, or is this like?
No, he's
that-
asking as a serious. He's
Yeah.
asking as
Yeah.
a serious question because they went to LARP.
I mean, I'd be down.
See, there you go.
See, now we're
That's it.
even closer to 10 than we were 5 last
Yep.
time I checked.
What we're gonna do is we're gonna have a LARPing realm for sometime, man, on like a Sunday afternoon.
A realm.
Can he hear me or no? He can't hear me.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, sometime on a Sunday afternoon in like Jenna and Jeremy's backyard and the Hendersons' backyard, and basically it's like it's a realm, and anything fantasy pretty much goes. We're developing like a little rule system right now.
We don't know anything about real LARPing.
Yeah,
So
and
it's just like,
yeah.
okay, so what's the difference between getting hit with a sword and having a web slinger that just shoots silly string at you? Where do we draw the line of
Yeah,
believability?
but we're coming up with all that
Can
kind of
we
stuff.
create like magical spells and just like act like we're throwing them at each other? or
Well,
something,
see, no,
too?
that's
it's-
lame. No, I'm out on
See
that,
now
man.
that I don't understand like what the difference between now.
What-
Now,
I mean-
I'm not saying I'm for, but
Okay.
I understand what the difference between that is in like the web. See, I'm not gonna. I don't know
Well,
if I'm gonna
fair
sell
enough,
that.
but then
you know?
he's got to hit me with a potion, dude.
like
right?
he's got to throw and hit you
A
with
water
a physical
balloon. He's got
bottle.
to have something.
Basically, they're physical. It has to be something physical that you're doing.
Yeah, and like you can't throw rocks at people. I mean, that's not
Well,
why we're doing
obviously.
this shit. You know, you can't be like, "Oh, rocks, you're stoned."
But, well, that's not
I mean, you
why.
could like make like a little bean bag. Like everyone could have like 2 bean bags and like those like 8 like different colors, like a fire one, and you only have 2 of those. You have 2 water ones.
See, that's a brilliant
Now
idea,
you're
bro.
thinking.
That's
Now
a
we're
great
thinking.
idea. Absolutely, man. So, but anyways, long story short, you'd be interested in something like this, huh?
Yeah, for sure.
All right,
cool.
Well, the
Okay.
first time we do it, it's gonna be like a kind of a capture the flag type thing, just so
We
we have
haven't
a
even
little
discussed
rules.
where it's going to go yet.
Yeah,
Right.
but
Is it
Something.
gonna be something like out of that movie Role Model?
Now,
that's
see,
what everybody keeps saying, but I've never seen the movie.
I haven't
it's,
either.
I've seen it, and it's
and
exactly
that's
what,
what
we're
you,
talking about.
Yeah, that's what he's
That's
saying. Yeah.
exactly what we're talking
Like for
about.
example, I'm gonna have a
But
Nerf
they, in
sword, a
that
cape,
stupid
and a
movie,
Captain
like
America
they had
shield.
100 fucking people out there.
Well, who knows,
and
guy?
And a fake castle, and like that shit looked like it was like super fun. Like, you know?
Well, then let's get there,
like
man.
to where I would have been like a little kid, like yelling, like I don't want it to end, I don't want to go.
I think if we
No.
get 10, 15, 20 people, man, it'll be fun for the first time.
Yeah.
We just got to figure out what it actually would be.
Yeah.
So I had a question. What were you alluding to in terms of the Stannis thing? You text me. Or how did I feel about him saving the day, so to speak?
Oh, dude. Well, I mean, I don't think it's a secret that Stannis is obviously my favorite character.
Really?
But,
I don't think I've ever heard that before.
And I think I'm the only one who thinks Stannis is the greatest person on this planet.
Can we stop doing that? I'm sorry.
But I mean, think of that. I mean, the Night's Watch was obviously doomed. I mean, like Mance Rayder sent 400 men 5 miles north, and they were going to climb the wall. Let's say only half of them made it. That was still 200 people that were going to climb the wall, and they would just completely
Wiped out the
decimate
50
the
guys
Night's
that were
Watch.
there.
But I mean, like, how badass was that? Like, all of a sudden, I mean, Mance Rayder has 100,000 wildlings, and then Stannis just comes from both the north and the south, respectively, of the wall, and just completely decimates his army and makes him surrender. Like, that was badass.
What about his...
I mean, that was cool as fuck. Now, so I guess we don't know this point yet, and I guess I can't really ask him.
You can because we prefaced it with "Don't tell us if you know." Just don't.
Okay,
hint
now
us one way or the other.
now is he going to take Mance Radar into the wall and discuss the terms with him of letting the wildlings through, or are the wildlings just through at this point? Like I
didn't
don't.
understand a word you just said.
Do you think
Yeah,
that?
I mean,
do you think that he's going to listen to what Jon Snow said in terms of dealing with Mance?
I think so, because I think throughout the entire show they've made it like a definite point of saying that Stannis is a fair and just man, and that he believes that that there should be some form of honor no matter what it is. It's kind of like how he showed with Sir Davos, where he saved his life, but Davos was a smuggler, so he chopped off his finger bones as retribution. Yeah. But I feel that he believes that Ned Stark was a very honorable man, and even told Jon Snow that. And I think that he would respect Ned Stark's honor and that
His lineage.
his privilege, or his not dynasty, but his bloodline.
Yeah.
And say, like Jon Snow said, Mance Rayder had him captive, but didn't torture him, didn't do anything. And so I think out of respect, Stannis will be fair and just, and saying okay, well he didn't say he's not going to torture him, but I think he's going to be fair with him and not take his head.
Do you think?
As long as Mance Rayder will accept that Stannis is the new king, is his true king.
See, that's where you're going to have the problem. Is we do not kneel. That's where they're going
Right.
to have a problem. We don't. The wildlings don't kneel.
But in the same sense, I do believe that Stannis almost respects that.
Well, yeah.
Because he knows that the north, that anything north of the wall technically isn't part of the Seven Kingdoms. But if they want to come into the Seven Kingdoms, he's going to have to acknowledge that Stannis is their king. And if he doesn't kneel, he might kill him. But I feel that Stannis almost respects the fact of who he is.
That Mike's more important.
But that or stay on that side of the wall and die, because Stannis knows what's coming.
Right.
Because of the Red Woman.
Basically,
he knows
I think
winter is coming or whatever per se. Right. He knows about the White Walkers.
I think Stannis is basically going to give, potentially, give him the choice of, hey, either come join me and proclaim me as your king, or stay over here and die.
Well, I mean, didn't he basically give him that ultimatum when he said kneel, and he chose not to kneel? Do you think that'll be the end of that still?
I think there's going to be more dialogue to it where I think Stannis is going to try and make him, do something, whether it's kneel or tell his people that he is the king. He might not, physically make Mance Rayder kneel, but I bet he's gonna, since the people respect Mance, I bet he's gonna, he could, force him to say, okay, proclaim me as your king in front of everyone. I won't make you kneel in front of me, but say that, tell them that I am your king.
Since
something along those lines.
Since Stannis believes in, the Lord of Light and all that shit now because of the Red Woman, do you think he believes in White Walkers?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I think he knows what's coming.
Okay.
I think he's like Stannis, because of the Red Woman, really knows. Like he's one of the. That's why he went there. That's why he went north of the wall. Is because he knows what's coming.
That letter.
He said the rest of what's going on is no longer my concern. We have to deal with what's coming from the north.
Okay.
Well, and two, when Master Aemon was sending out those letters of, our Lord Commander's been lost and the others are coming, or the White Walkers are coming. He sent that to every kingdom, or every castle, basically, in the Seven Kingdoms. And look who was the only one that came to save the aid, was Stannis, because everyone else thinks it's probably bullshit.
Okay.
Because everybody else pisses on the fucking Night's Watch, right? Basically.
Yeah, it's the Australia of Westeros.
Right. And Stannis has a point, too, where he's like, I've been so busy trying to, defeat the ones who were, trying to take my kingdom, when I should have just been trying to take my kingdom and save it, from the White Walkers, from the true threat.
You somehow have this way of making Stannis sound like the greatest guy ever.
I know. What is it about Stannis that you like so much, man?
I don't know. I like
the way he describes Stannis. It makes you like, isn't he the saint of the show? And it's like, wait a minute. No, he's kind of. I feel like a long time ago, as soon as he met up with the Red Woman, he kind of lost his way. Yeah. It felt like he started succumbing to her, but
I don't necessarily know that her way is the wrong way, though.
It just felt like a departure, and usually that doesn't go well.
She does give birth to demons, but I mean,
she did birth the smoke monster. I mean,
I don't know, man. It's all magic. It's all Westeros, dude. It's all this mystical world. I love it.
Hey, and I don't know if anyone ever caught this, but I mean, I caught it, and it was really weird when. Back in it was either the end of season 3, or I think it was the end of season 3, where Melisandre was going to get that bastard of Robert.
Was she naked again?
No, she was not naked. But when they met up with the Brotherhood without banners, with like Beric Dondarrion and Thoros of Myr.
Yeah.
And she was like, you were supposed to get King Robert to convert over to the Lord of Light. I mean, that seems like there's some kind of like way bigger not conspiracy, but way bigger picture going on here of something with this religion. And they were like, we sent you over here to convert Robert. What took you so long? And like now I had to come over here and convert the next true king. So it's like, okay, well, who is sending these people over here, and why are they thinking that they need to grow up?
It's the Lord, but it's the Lord of Light. It's supposedly their deity or their God sending them there to do that.
Could the Lord of Light be what's controlling
in control of them? Like saying, like, okay, well, we're gonna, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they have to have some kind of ruler that,
like the head of their, like the head of their order, the head of that religion or whatever it is.
Order or something.
Yeah. I see what he's saying.
It's almost like a cult,
Yeah.
Is the Lord of Light one of like the old gods or the new gods?
No, it's the new god. Like he's one of the newest ones. Like you're supposed to denounce the 7 gods of Westeros if you
Oh, is that
That's
what it is? Either you believe in the...
saying. Okay, here, let me I'll try to explain what he's saying on the phone right there. He's talking about, you remember the guy, like the drunken priest dude that brought the guy back to life?
Yeah.
That's who he's talking about.
Okay.
He was sent to Westeros to convert Robert Baratheon to the same religion that Stannis believes in now.
Okay.
The Lord of the Light. He failed and gave up. He like stopped believing at some point in time, this guy that was supposed to convert him.
Correct.
And he stopped believing, and then during some point in battle, his buddy got killed, and he did the only thing he could think of and laid his hands on him and said the words, and he came back to life.
Yeah.
So then,
alright.
at that point he started believing, but it was already too late because like Robert Baratheon was dead at that point.
Okay, so if we're going with potentially that the Lord of Light is a real...
Did you hear any of that, Miles?
What's that?
Did you hear any of what I just said?
I heard your summary. Yeah, that was on point.
Okay, so if we're going with the idea here that potentially the Lord of Light is the quote unquote one true God, right?
Right.
Right.
Could that be the one that was controlling the skeletons, and therefore when they went in the cave, that's why it couldn't control it anymore? Just a random thing.
No, I think that was like control, like because the Lord of Light is one, and then because like with that whole religion of R'hllor or whatever, with the Lord of Light, there's the light side, which is what Stannis believes in, and then there's also a dark side. There's only two gods: the Lord of Light and the Lord of Nothing.
And
So the zombies are
and that would
dark.
be
So
where the White Walkers come from.
The White Walkers were the ones who can reanimate corpses and stuff like that, and that's what those skeletons were.
Yeah.
So now the White Walkers, do they come from the other side of that?
Yeah, because that's what I believe.
I think that too. Like a Song of Fire and Ice. Like the whole thing is like.
Because I feel like there's a bigger picture there with.
So then the children are part of the
light.
light.
The wall and stuff like that. And
right.
seeing because if you think about it, like the whole series is like a Song of Ice and Fire, and so it'd be like the others are the ice, and then the God of R'hllor would be the fire.
See, that's
Yeah,
what I've
that
been kind of
makes
saying
sense.
to begin with.
God,
like,
if this
like
ends up
this
being
song-
about religion, I'm gonna be pissed.
well, no,
when
I'm
it's all
saying,
said and
like,
done, it's about religion.
I'm saying it's
Oh,
about
man,
it's
I'm
about
gonna lose
it's
it,
gonna
guy.
be it's gonna
Zombies
be about
and religion.
It's
I'm
gonna
out.
be it's gonna be about these deities or whatever, and the way that they're using the pieces on their game board or whatever. Like to me, the whole beginning, the whole opening credits to the show looks like a giant fucking game board.
Yeah, it's like Risk or
You know?
whatever.
Right.
Risk,
and it's
yeah.
these deities or whatever playing this game back and forth. It's the Game of Thrones. You know what I'm saying? They're using these pieces and influencing them however they need to influence them, however subtly it may be.
You know something I just realized? We're thinking that this show is all about the throne, but that was just one of the book titles. Maybe that isn't the direction that it's all headed. Maybe it doesn't matter.
Well, like I'm saying,
Maybe
like
it's all about the battle
like I said,
between
like
dark
I said,
and
like
light.
I even said on one of the podcasts that
That
the
sounds
throne,
very familiar.
like the
Fucking
throne,
lost in religion all over again. I'm
like
gonna be
the
so
throne,
pissed,
like the
dude.
throne is
so pissed.
the throne is not a good thing, man. The throne has been a fucking horrible thing, like as far back as you can fucking think about.
But that only came in after
killing each
with
other
Robert,
and-
right?
No, I mean like
Or no, Targaryen.
the Targaryens have been like,
Because
if
they're-
you, like if you get some of the history in the show,
The
about,
person
about-
before that had a different chair. Is what I'm saying. The Iron Throne with the swords.
yes
was
made
the
by
Targaryens, right?
Aegon Targaryen's dragons, right?
Okay. Sorry, it just goes random here, Miles. I know we're not still on the same topic, but
No, it's all good.
I'm just glad he'll LARP. I mean, we're in, dude. That's it. You got to bring your own weapons.
Okay, man, we got to start putting this shit out on Facebook or something, I guess. And I'll start.
Oh, don't
I'll
worry,
Jenna
we're
start
getting there,
fucking
man.
putting it out there. She's got a shit
What?
ton of people on Facebook, doesn't she?
what about the
About the
podcast?
well,
Or
podcasting and
LARPing?
Well, we
LARPing.
got to figure out the rules first, and then we'll come up with a subsidized flyer and just go from there.
Okay, so overall, anything up till now in the show, anything that you feel is worth a discussion?
I mean, I'm pretty interested in to see what happens with Sansa's storyline.
Sansa.
Dark Sansa?
This guy with Sansa and Stannis, two of the
Well-
least popular things on the show, but they actually make two of the most sense when you
But
think
see,
about it. man.
I don't know, but like, is that fed by some future knowledge? that
Dude,
we
I
do
bet
not-
this
that
game's
we
gonna
do
end
not
up being
possess
about the
yet?
broads. It's gonna end up being about
Let
all
me
about
ask
the
him,
chicks.
Were you this into Stannis going along the journey as reading the books, as opposed to like at the end you determined that he's your boy? Like, did you feel this
No,
strongly about him on the way?
No, yeah, I felt really strongly about him from the beginning.
Okay. Just curious.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, I guess people
Well,
like
he's
Karl
got a lot
Malone and
of,
John
like-
Stockton.
the show doesn't do the greatest job, but like, he has a lot of like satire, a lot of satire in his comments, where he like acts like he's really stern, but really he's just like fucking with. Or sorry, pardon my language. But
Oh
he's just
no,
messing
you
with
can
people.
cuss. It
Yeah,
doesn't
we've
matter.
all dropped
Oh,
one
all right.
today.
Like what? You're
All right, tight.
you're a literary man. Now, what do you make of this?
Yeah.
Some of his lines are good.
He's
I do
kind
like
of
Stannis.
Yes. Yeah,
His
I mean,
backstory on the disc we watched the other day was fantastic.
Mhm.
Him reading that shit.
The way
That
he
was
the way
bad,
he held
man.
Storm's
God.
End, like that's a
Yeah.
good story, man.
Have you seen any of that stuff, Miles?
What's that? Could you repeat that?
The Blu-ray like bonus features where it's goes into the in episode guides where it tells you history about certain rooms or people or events from multiple character point of views.
Have I watched those?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes was the answer to your question.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. Are those book related? And what do you take of Theon Greyjoy being part mermaid? I didn't mean to sound like that, or like I work for 2020 or something there, but
you didn't even lead
preface it.
into
No, man.
right.
I'm saying.
I feel like in the show that the guy who Alfie Allen, who plays Theon Greyjoy,
Reek.
Does an absolute phenomenal job with his acting. I mean, like, he's really convincing that he is absolutely just like petrified to even think that he is Theon Greyjoy anymore.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, like, when he's sitting there trying to tell those guys when they were trying to take Mo Caitlin, when he's like, I'm Theon Greyjoy, he's sitting there like trembling and bust down into tears because of the simple thought that him telling himself that is so petrifying to him.
Because he knows that dude's going to hurt him or whatever for it.
Right, exactly.
So is he part mermaid or not?
Is he part mermaid?
That's what it says.
In one of those backstories, it said that one of the men of the house basically fucked a mermaid.
Oh.
At the top of
Yeah.
like the what do you call it? What's his last name? Greyjoy
Lineage.
household. Yeah, at the top of the lineage, basically started with him fucking what I assume would be like a siren.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah,
I assume
don't
it's
know.
Ariel from The Little Mermaid.
It's
Shit.
the Little Mermaid.
It's the Little
Yeah.
Mermaid.
Have you seen
Specifically.
those? Have you seen those Disney pictures of the Game of
You know, it
Thrones,
seems
like the
so
Disney
far-fetched,
versions of the
but,
Game of
I mean,
Thrones?
we gotta think,
No.
You haven't
put it
seen
in
that?
context
God, I
with
bet
everything else that's
Khaleesi's
going on
hot.
with, like,
I bet
It's pretty
Khaleesi's
good. Like,
so hot.
it's-
See, we need an intern guy because those pictures should be like.
What was that, Miles?
I said, I mean, it seems far-fetched that,
I'm not going to be able to look it
about
up. that
mermaids
easily.
and stuff like that, but I mean, if you think about, like, dragons and the White Walkers and stuff like that, it's like, who knows?
That's what we were saying. It's hard to immediately rule out. It sounds preposterous.
But then you start talking it through, and you're like, well, you can't put it to bed.
I hope
because
they
it's
don't
not-
though, man. Because like that, when they started going off on that shit on like Once Upon a Time, that's when it ruined it for me.
Yes,
When
but
they
this show
started-
actually has a budget to do CGI well.
Well, fair enough. I mean, like the Little Mermaid's not wearing the same costume.
As few
my
and
mom
far
made my
between as it
sister.
is.
Yeah. No, what are you talking about? They do
Again,
CGI
that's what
all
I'm
the
saying.
time.
That's
The
why they
Wall.
can't go on forever. It's because of the CGI and the budget, man. That the show is expensive to produce, man.
Yeah, but it's making money. You're not acting. You got to take into account the fact that it's making
HBO's favorite
fucking
thing. If we know anything about
dough.
HBO, their favorite thing to do is kill shows. They love the endings of the shows
Yeah, for
because
some
that's when they
reason.
get all their ratings and that's when they get all
Hey,
their money back.
I got a question for you guys. What do you think is going to happen to the mountain?
I say basically we've kind of came to a consensus that he's going to become Frankenstein, basically. Like
which one?
Well, no, I think okay.
like
here,
Khal
here,
Drogo, but
here,
it worked.
Here, he's gonna turn. Yeah, he's gonna turn into some sort of monster, and they're gonna send his ass after the imp. Did you hear that?
Wait, no. Technically, doesn't they, if the
They're gonna
imp,
send. They're gonna send him to hunt. They're gonna
So
send
they're
him
going to
after.
send
Wait a second.
zombified.
They're gonna send Franken Mountain after the imp. They're gonna.
Here's
send him
what's
after
gonna
the imp.
happen.
That's just now. That's just
the
coming
imp's
to me
gonna get away.
right now. That's happening in my head
Right this second.
Right now.
Okay.
Peter Dinklage is going to get away.
He's
okay?
already away.
I'm saying.
Yeah,
but I'm
he's,
saying
no, but
they're-
he's going to
they're
go back
s-
to his cell. His dad's going to die. That's going to leave him in charge of his family.
going back to his cell.
What the fuck are you talking about?
He
He
got
got
into
on
a
a boat.
box and got
Oh, that's
shipped
right.
the fuck
God
off.
damn it. I keep forgetting he got on the fucking box with the Munich.
Okay, but what I'm saying,
The eunuch. God damn it, eunuch.
but what I'm saying is he's gonna send like the mountain's gonna be hunting him.
So basically, our consensus is that he's going to live in whatever form that is. I really think it's going to be Khal Drogo, but animated.
So
when he
wait,
got
do you
brought
think
back.
the Hound is dead?
No, I feel like that they left that
See?
open, like, ambiguously.
I
He's
feel like
coming back.
she
See,
killed him the slow way.
See, we
No.
didn't see him die.
I think he's
we,
dead.
We
That's
would have
it.
seen him. We would have
Like,
seen him
he-
take his last breath on screen.
Absolutely, I agree.
I feel like it was
they
more
did-
poetic
they
than
did
that.
throughout the entire show to like really show you someone's death, like Ned Stark's death, like Robb
That was
Stark's
your
death.
exact-
They
yep.
made a point to show them die.
But
Right.
this is like maybe this is the thing the thing that proves the
He's just clinging,
opposite
just
that proves the
clinging.
I know
rule.
he's
don't
just trying to
think he's
argue.
dead.
There's
I
no way,
think I
man.
thought for certain she left him to die. He said he was dead unless there's somebody right here that can save me. He had a fucking gaping vagina wound on his
But
leg.
it was a broken leg, though. It wasn't like an
but
artery.
still,
Like he was
It's a
bleeding.
hound
to death.
guy.
I
He's
feel
gonna
like-
survive.
I'm saying Brienne finds him
Yeah.
and saves his life.
Who knows?
Right, but if you also remember in season 3, we saw the Hound cut Beric Dondarrion in half, and then like 30 seconds later, he was brought back to life.
Oh, was that the guy with the?
The Brotherhood without banners finds his ass, and dude saves him. Boom, dude.
Yeah, that could work. I guess it would have to happen so quickly. I just feel like that
Yeah.
was Arya
We
choosing
haven't
the
seen
slow
them.
death.
We didn't see them
No,
all
that was
season. The
poetic
Brotherhood-
justice
we didn't
at
get
the
any
time, but
Brotherhood
it'll come
without
back.
banners this season at all.
Hmm.
So they're gonna pop up at the beginning of the next season and save his ass. I don't think the Hound is dead. I really don't.
I don't want him to be.
think-
Don't
I
get me
don't-
wrong.
No, I know. I'm just saying. Like I just don't. I feel like if he was gonna die, we would have seen him take his
Yeah,
last breath.
there's
on
no
screen.
way he's dead.
We'd have seen him like.
So does
croak
Jamie
out. We'd have seen him
Lannister
croak out. He wouldn't
go
have been
back to
yelling
King's Landing and
as the
become
scene
the
changed.
heir to that, or what's going to happen with all that?
yeah,
King's
what do you
Landing
think?
is going to be in chaos. when
Yeah,
it
that's what I
comes
mean.
back.
Isn't Lannister's the guy now, right? Jamie's got to take a leave of absence
No.
from the
No,
King's
Jamie's
Guard.
under oath to the King's
Whoa,
King's
whoa, whoa.
Guard.
Then it's
Let's-
Peter Dinklage's
no,
shit.
Let's relax here for a second, Big Al. The thing you're forgetting is that it's not the Lannisters' throne. It's a Baratheon's throne.
It is
Tommen
a Baratheon
Baratheon.
throne, but the Lannisters are the ones controlling everything.
No,
Right.
I get that. I'm just saying
Yeah.
he thought it because Tywin died, then it went to Tyrion or Jamie.
I'm
it doesn't do
talking
that.
about Tyrion.
He was the
Jamie
hand.
had to
He's
renounce
talking
all
about
titles
Casterly
because
Rock.
Yeah,
because he's the
Casterly
King's
Rock
Guard.
is what I'm
He's
talking about, man.
Tywin's legacy.
Oh,
not
I'm not-
Casterly Rock,
yeah.
not the throne. He's talking
I'm not
about
worried
King's
about
the
Rock.
throne.
Okay, I
yeah.
thought you meant King's Landing.
No, he's talking about
Casterly Rock.
Who
Jamie's
gets
got to go
Casterly
back,
Rock?
right?
Tywin's dead. It should legally. It's Tyrion.
Jamie,
Yeah,
But
Jamie has
Tyrion's a
to kill.
fugitive who was sentenced to death. So I guess his
Peter
proclamations to any land are probably forfeited.
I think Jamie eventually has to kill Cersei.
I think so too.
I don't know
Why?
why that
Well,
just
no
popped into
way.
my head.
They should grow old together.
Nope. He needs to stand up with
Have you guys thought of
Brienne.
the fact that have you guys thought of the fact that like Sansa's pretty much, or Sansa's one of the most powerful people in the Seven Kingdoms right now?
Yeah,
Now
essentially.
that she has that she's betrothed to Robin Arryn of the Vale, which was completely untouched by the war, and that was Bannerman. All of Bannerman there think now that they know that she's a Stark, that she has the best claim to Winterfell, and the Northerners will rally behind her.
And she has-
a very fresh army.
And she has Littlefinger under her finger.
That guy's so
Right.
creepy, man.
Hey, you know what's really creepy about that is when they were filming that, she had just turned 18 in February. That they were done with filming in like October. So when they kissed, she was technically 17 years old. In real
Yeah, but
life.
all them actors and actresses.
They
look
probably
so-
weren't
yeah.
on American soil for that to be like illegal, though.
Good
Dude, the
point.
legal age of consent in Indiana is 16.
It is.
What's up with Littlefinger like changing his voice to be like all dark and grim and stuff now?
Yeah, he didn't. I don't remember him ever
Because
talking
he's a
like
creep, man.
Because before he had to put on a front. He was the happy-go-lucky, almost like,
Yeah.
not the jester because he wasn't funny, so to
Right.
speak, but he was kind of like the court jester of King's Landing, where he was doing the brothels, and he had to be Mr. Personality and charisma, and now he
I-
gets to be who he really is because all his plans have come
Right.
through, and
I will agree with the fact that he changed his tone of voice on the show.
yeah.
Whether it was for that reason, what you just said or not, he did change the way he speaks on the show. Like his tone of voice and tone of voice and everything this season was real like dark and like whispery and grim, and he did. It seems like it was more emphasis on that than used to be.
Huh.
Right. I will agree with Miles on that. I don't know. He like he said, you just explained it. You explained it pretty well. Why he would, like, he doesn't have to be
He doesn't have to hide who he is
Right.
anymore. Yeah. He's got everything he wanted, basically.
right, and then got the one,
Which is
the one,
everything.
and got the one person that could fucking pull it all down for him to back him up.
Yeah.
Because right there, she could have pulled everything down around him.
I mean, Robin's dead when he goes out. He sent him out to die, right?
I
Isn't
think
it-
that's the. I think. Well, he just talked about her. She like her being betrothed to him. Like she would have to marry him to that. But I don't think that's gonna. Littlefinger's not gonna let that happen.
No, wait a minute.
No,
Littlefinger got
Littlefinger
it.
made her dye her hair brown, so she looks
What do you
like
mean?
Catelyn Stark.
Wait,
No, she's betrothed to
Wait a minute,
Sansa.
though.
He's talking about Sansa's betrothed to Robb and Aaron.
I know that, but didn't Peter marry the wife before
Yeah.
he killed her?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
his shit now.
Until Robb and Aaron comes
Well,
of age.
he's technically.
Until he
I don't
comes
know,
of
like,
age.
Cersei was named how Cersei was named like Queen Regent. Littlefinger is now like Lord Regent of the Vale until Robin comes of age.
Now,
So if Robb and Aaron dies, that's his shit then.
Probably, yeah.
Right, but but he knows if that happens, like you kind of mentioned, like like if something like that were to happen, I mean, all the Lords of the Vale would probably revolt against him because they think that it's like so mysterious and that he married Lysa Aaron
And then she
now
dies.
she's
She
dead.
falls.
Because they all think he's sneaky.
Yeah. Well, he is. He's a shady
Well,
fuck,
I think
man.
I'll tell you what. The fact that Sansa backed him up totally changed everybody's mind on that. Like, it seems like after that little meeting they had with her, they were all like, "Oh yeah, sorry, we ever doubted you."
Yeah, she's a pretty good liar, it ended up being.
Yeah.
She's into the whole Littlefinger creepy thing, though,
Of course,
I think, man.
she's obviously going to use him to get to her ends.
I bet they get
and he's
married
gonna
in real
use her.
life. You heard that here first.
No, oh, for
Predictions
fuck's sake,
that come
Big
true.
Al. That's not going to happen.
Big Aldamus is what we're going to call me after that.
Big Alstradamus.
Big Alstradamus.
You're such a douchebag.
I know. Fuck.
Wait till it happens, guy. Then you can call me a douchebag.
I can't think of anything
dude.
else that's really like lingering out there at the moment. I'm sure I'll think of it as soon as we end the podcast. But
So let's LARP,
We
guy.
haven't talked about the Arya, like anything. We mentioned Arya. What do you think about that? Her going, I think I called that back when she met the faceless man that she was going to go learn
Valar Morghulis, is that how you say it?
Valar Morghulis.
Valar Morghulis.
okay, question, Miles. What do you think?
Yeah.
Do you think that I'm hoping that they don't do the thing where she becomes faceless and then they have to switch actresses. You think they're going to go that direction with it, or you think it's going to always be that same chick playing Arya?
I think she's just
I
going
think
to
it's always
change
going
as
to be that
needed.
same chick playing Arya.
I hope
It's
so.
gotta be, dude.
I think if she learns that faceless
I feel
stuff,
like
like, she'll
she's one
just
of the,
change
like,
real
fan
quick
favorites.
just to be fucking.
And
Just
how
to
old
use
is,
it.
do you know how old she is off the top of your head?
17.
Oh, she's 17 too, huh?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, I read something that's like they were talking about, like, because in the show, or from the books and everything like that, like, all the characters were, like, probably 3 or 4 years younger. Like, Robb Stark in the book was only, like, 16, but in the show he was, like, 18 or 19, and, like, Arya was only supposed to be, like,
And Khaleesi's like 13
It's just
or
because they're
14,
growing.
right?
They're growing along with the
Yeah.
show on TV is all basically, right? So
Right.
they're having to adapt for that.
Yeah, because Khaleesi was only like 13 or 14 originally when they
Right.
first started.
because I mean, it's no secret that, like, they're aging much faster in real life than they are. It's supposed to be in the series.
Oh yeah, for sure. But that happens. I mean, but they're doing a very good job of adapting to it. I think.
How many
So
seasons
far.
do you think it goes?
What's that?
How many years do you think this show's going to run for?
Well, they signed it up through season 6, and no HBO series has gone past 6 seasons. But I think this is going to be the one that blows past that.
So they go 8.
I think they could go 10 plus if they really wanted to.
They don't. There's no way they go.
I
10.
If they
will,
milk
but
it.
I think they're going to catch up with the books, and I think they're going to do what they kind of do with, like, that Sparta show or whatever like that.
Spartacus.
And do a prequel season with, like, Robert's Rebellion.
Yeah, we were
see,
just
now
talking
that would
about
be
that.
badass, dude.
What
To
if they
see
do the
Robert's
for real
Rebellion
what if they
and
do
to get to
Entourage?
meet, was it Rhaegar Targaryen and all that shit? Like, that would be cool as fuck, dude.
Wait a minute,
Yeah, I think that
HBO
would be
Entourage
badass.
did 8 seasons.
Yeah, 8 seasons in a movie.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, true.
I don't know. I feel like it could go 10.
Entourage is a different thing. Like, I'm talking like a drama type series, like The Sopranos, stuff like that. That only went like 6 seasons.
Yeah.
I mean,
think
Entourage
True
was
Blood went 6
drama.
seasons.
True Blood did 7.
I would argue that was a
Did
drama
they?
show.
Yeah, True Blood's last season just aired, and it's season 7. They're done with that. So I mean, they don't go that. I'm telling
No,
you,
they don't.
HBO
They don't hit the 10 mark. I
No.
really think this will be the one to either end on 10 or surpass it.
I bet you get 8 for sure.
I mean, I just don't think, like, before 10 seasons, there's enough time to tell this entire story. And I think it would
Yeah.
be a shame if they don't finish telling the
If
story.
it gets cut short
Right.
before we feel like we've seen enough.
Okay, so then are you okay with, like, let's say they do, for example, 7 seasons. Winter comes at the end of the 7th season. They fast forward through winter, and then season 8 picks up.
Oh, I would be furious if they skipped winter after
Yeah,
winter is
after all
coming.
that
Like,
build
you-
up and
you
then
want-
just
No,
fucking
I
skipped
think
it.
I think the whole thing is the whole like storyline of the show is supposed to be like winter is coming, but winter I think is supposed to be like the others. or the,
The
White
White
Walkers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that he called them the others.
The
So
others.
it's not going to be like the blizzard we just had in Northwest Indiana the past year.
No, I think that's the whole storyline of the
Well,
show.
it's going to be
is
like that, but with monsters and zombies that will kill you.
Yes.
You didn't see the monsters and zombies?
I avoided them and chopped their
And
heads
then
off.
every person they kill can then become part
Yeah.
of their army.
Yeah.
Like it's literally zombies. Like just
God,
like
it
on The
is.
Walking
Don't-
Dead.
don't say
Like,
that,
we
guy.
even said it.
Don't, man. That's
Wait,
going to
wait,
make
wait.
me...
The White Walking Dead.
Yeah, the White Walking Dead.
It's fucked up, man.
That's what
I'm
White
gonna smoke a
Walkers.
cigarette. That's bullshit. I hate zombies
Yep.
so much.
I hate zombies too.
Hey, I got
I
a
really
question for
do,
you guys.
except on Game
What's
of Thrones.
that?
I got a
'Cause they
question for
carry
you guys.
swords,
If you guys,
and they can-
if you guys
they can-
were put on trial and had to choose a champion out of anyone in the show that's either alive or dead, and you could have them as your champion, who would you choose?
Huh.
Well, I don't know, man. Like Oberyn was pretty good, but I mean, he was a little too
Sam.
cocky and kind of like, huh?
Sam.
I mean, would you take Jaime Lannister from like season 1?
I don't know. I think his head was a little inflated as to how good he was.
Because I mean, they self-proclaim Jaime as like the greatest knight.
That's
Well,
what I'm saying. But
yeah.
like,
The
but what I'm
first
saying
season.
is like I think his head was blown up a little bit as to that fact.
He had a little Oberyn going on.
Like I
Right.
don't think he was necessarily he got whooped on by Brienne, dude. Brienne handled his ass like pretty much with no problem.
Right. I mean, if you remember back from season 1 when Jaime and Ned Stark fought, you know, at that time Jaime was supposed to be the greatest knight, but Ned Stark kept up with him blow for blow.
Ned Stark
And-
would have won that fight if the dude didn't sneak
Right,
in from
exactly,
behind.
and that's why, like, when they locked swords, like when they came in together and they like locked eyes, and Jaime like looked at him back, like, oh my gosh, like this old dude is like giving me a run for my money, and then that Lannister supposed to threw that spear through Ned's leg, and then
Yeah.
Jaime was all pissed off because it wouldn't have been
It wasn't
fair or
honorable,
whatever.
right?
But it's like, man, Ned Stark must have been a fantastic knight.
Dude, Ned Stark.
because-
I think Ned Stark, like, even at that point that we saw him, was one of the toughest sons of bitches
Or
in
Brienne
Westeros,
is
dude.
just a fucking badass.
And I think Brienne is a badass.
She
Brienne
just beat-
handled the fucking Hound,
Yeah.
dude. Who like would have been like maybe my number 1 or number 2 choice for to answer his question. We just got lost Miles.
We lost him. Okay, but
To answer his question,
don't know.
I think the Hound would have been one of my choices. Oberyn, the Mountain. I mean, fucking come on.
name one other person that's killed a White Walker on the show that we know of.
Yeah, but I mean, how is Sam going to handle himself against the Mountain in a one-on-one fight?
I don't think the Mountain is going to be alive. I think he's going to be dead, but alive dead. He's going to be
Do you
zombie.
think he'll call back?
I don't know. Big L.
Yeah.
Miles asked the question: if you could take anyone from,
If you were on trial.
yeah, if you're on trial in this world from anywhere from the first episode until now,
And you can pick a champion.
who would your champion be?
Wow, that's a fantastic question.
There he is coming back.
And then that's basically who I would have picked. Back to you, Miles.
Wow, dude, that's the best story I ever heard.
I'm just fucking with you. We didn't say anything. We just asked Big Al the question.
Oh, I have to think about it for a second. I mean, off the top of my head, I want to say Jaime Lannister, but he's only got one hand now, so that one's off.
I mean, I would like while you were outside.
But
he-
season one, he's
he said
saying you
would-
could do that.
He's
Yeah.
saying, would you take Jaime Lannister from season 1? And we got into a discussion about how he was about to lose to Ned Stark before.
Well,
And
no, you
Brienne.
can't take You can't take Jaime Lannister from season 1 because Jaime Lannister in season 1 is now Jaime Lannister in season 4. You can take Ned Stark from season 1 because Ned Stark's dead now.
What are you talking about?
He said alive or dead. It
If
doesn't
your
matter.
thing happened,
He
if
said,
your
would
trial
you,
happened-
he said, would you
They were
take
big.
Jaime Lannister
Like
from season 1?
Yeah, probably, man. I mean, why not?
I don't think that he was ever as good as like everybody made him out to be.
Can I say Mag
I
the
think
Mighty?
I think that's one.
I mean, yes, you can.
Well,
Why
he
not?
said anybody.
Yeah.
Mag the Mighty, okay?
Is what?
Does Mag the Mighty work? Is that an
Yeah.
acceptable answer?
Can I take Dracarys?
Would he champion for you?
Oh,
I
I
want
don't know.
Khaleesi's dragon. The
Well,
blue
see, that
one.
wasn't the question. You just
Yeah.
asked us to pick one. He didn't say what. We didn't get into the circumstance of whether or not the person would champion for us.
Yeah,
or
I just
not.
assumed we could just pick him.
Right. Because if that's the case, then nobody's stepping up for Joel.
Yeah, no shit. I've annoyed far too
he-
many.
He's going to have to fight for himself.
Who would you pick?
Right. Is he breaking
Oh,
up?
we're losing you. What,
Oh, no.
Who would you pick, Miles?
Doot, doot, doot.
Yeah, that's it. We got a drop call. Get him off the line. He'll call back. We'll get it back on a secure line.
He's calling again.
Oh my god! And then when that happened,
So who would you pick? Who would you pick, Miles?
I would probably take Bronn or Ned Stark.
Bronn's a good choice, or Ned Stark's a good. I like both of those choices. I'm saying like the Hound would be a good choice too. Like that
Would have been a good choice.
Give me Jon Snow in 3 years. Jon Snow in 3 years.
I don't know. Jon Snow's a pretty good fighter
Jon
right
Snow's
now.
a bad dude.
Can
man.
he do that?
The
He's
thing,
at the
the
wall.
thing about Jon Snow is, though, if you remember him talking when he found out Rob died, he was like, I've always been trying to live in Rob's shadows. And Rob was a better swordsman. Rob was a better fighter. Rob was a better everything. So,
Yeah, but that's
That's
what
the
I'm
reason I
saying.
would take Jon Snow.
Jon Snow in 3 years. You know
I don't
what
know,
mean?
dude. Jon Snow, more and more, I see him on the show, reminds me of Ned Stark.
Yeah, for sure.
absolutely.
He's very honorable.
Yeah, if you could only get rid of that dumb look on his face all the time.
But that's the Jon
See,
Snow
I
look.
think that's the Jon Snow, Ned Stark
the
look.
Jon
Like,
Snow, that's the
the kind of the
Winterfell.
look I'm talking about.
I'm a
They both have
bastard.
that.
He's a bastard.
Huh.
But see, like I feel like just because he's so much like Ned Stark, that his honor would get in the way and get him killed.
Who, Jon Snow? See, but I think
Yeah.
he may be just a little bit smarter than that.
Yeah, I feel
With
like he's
being in
learned
the
that
Night's
lesson.
Watch, he might have
because
learned that
you're right,
lesson.
'cause he did defeat that.
Oh, shit.
But haven't
He
we
did
learned
defeat
that
what?
honor only goes so far in the realm? I mean, let's be real. What like
I mean, I think certain
death
people
is
have
what
learned.
rules the realm. Let's be real. That's
Well,
it.
what about Loras Tyrell? Would anyone take him?
Nah.
He said who?
Loras
See, now I
Tyrell.
think he's a pretty good fighter.
I'd take Marjorie wherever she went. I would eat cinnamon toast crunch out of body parts of hers.
He's
Oh
talking
my
about
God.
a champion. I don't know, man. Like, I think we're still going to see some pretty good fighters. Like, I'll tell you what, man. And another thing I think we're going to get next season, is some repercussion from Dorne, dude. Dorne's going to want to
Oh,
go to
man.
fucking
I mean-
war with King's Landing after
Whoa,
what happened.
stop
to
yelling.
Oberyn.
Who's
I mean,
Dorne?
they just lost their prince.
Oberyn.
Prince Oberyn is from Dorne, the country.
I literally watched 4 seasons in like 3
It's
weeks.
Dorne
You
is
have
the
to-
south.
Dorne is the south of King's Landing. It's like
Oh,
one of
okay.
the 7.
It's where they
supposedly
sent,
one of the seven-
You
one
have
of
to remember,
Cersei's
too, the
daughters.
Lannisters are weak right now because I mean they just suffered through a war. They just lost Tywin Lannister, who was like their
Mhm.
house leader. But Dorne was completely untouched by that war.
Yeah,
So they've
they
got
have a
fresh
whole
soldiers.
army, and yeah, they're gonna want to go to. They're
Which
gonna
is
invade
why
King's
it's so
Landing.
significant about
The
Sanders
Vale.
too, because the Vale was one of the 7 kingdoms, and they were completely untouched by the war.
By the war. Yeah, I agree. I think Doran's coming hard, man. When they learn.
Dude, that's
about
why I
Oberyn.
think the Tyrells, after seeing that backstory, I think the Tyrells are set up best to go ahead and end up
Oh,
laying
the Tyrells
claim.
right now definitely have the most money and probably have the strongest army.
And
Yeah,
That's what I'm
that's
saying.
something we
And
keep
their-
forgetting about is
and
that
their
they're
money
fucking
isn't-
broke.
Their
the
money isn't
Lannisters.
perceived. The Lannisters' money is perceived. At
But
this
wait a
point.
second now. Hold on. Now the Tyrells and the Lannisters have joined forces. So
Not
wouldn't-
yet.
I mean, they have twice.
Basically,
they
but not
basically
yet.
through war and stuff.
Yeah, but dude, fucking, the Tyrells
Not
were
legally.
in on the assassination attempt on Joffrey. They were in
Well,
on
yeah,
the
Grandma
attempt, the
did it.
assassination.
It was a grandma. Oh yeah.
They were in on that. They helped.
Well,
They
duh.
helped do all that. What I'm saying is, it's like they don't. I don't know, man. I think their loyalties might still lie with like Khaleesi.
Their
still.
loyalties lie with the crown, and that's it, bro. Is for them to be
But
on
the crown,
throne.
the crown was given to them by Khaleesi. They still believed that Robert Baratheon was a usurper,
Correct.
and they just fell in line because that's what they
That's
do.
all they care about is the throne. Is that Marjorie is queen of the realm.
She wants to be queen pretty
Yeah.
bad.
That's it. That's her end game. She ends up on that side.
I think
Khaleesi
she's an
ends
evil
up on the other
I think
side.
she's an evil bitch too.
Who?
You're just looking for a 3-way. You're just looking for some sort of lesbian
No, I'm
interaction.
being serious
That's all you're
because
looking
Khaleesi's
for.
going to take over the other side, and Sansa and her sons will be like kings of the north. And what's her name? Arya.
Arya.
She's going to be a Valur Magulis or whatever they call him.
She's gonna be all men must die.
She's gonna be the
Whatever
face of
they
the
call it, yeah.
She's gonna be
Yeah.
like an assassin, right?
I feel like that's a good place to end. Do we have anything else you want to say before the next season of Game of Thrones? I mean, I feel like we could still do this every week. I feel like we could easily still just pick one thing and discuss the shit out of it for an hour
Let's
every week.
let's just do book club. Let's just
Yeah,
read
why
the
don't we
books
we'll just call it
up
book
until the point
No.
that we're at.
How about we just call it book club and just show up here every Monday and do a podcast? We'll just call it book club. That's what
No,
chicks
you
do,
won't do it,
right?
huh?
No.
Isn't that what
I
middle-aged
mean, even if we
housewives
have a
do?
podcast every day from now, like the next 2 years of just talking about something different. I mean, like we could talk about who's the third head of the dragon.
I know it pisses me
Yeah.
off that I came so late into
Who's
podcasting.
who's the what now?
That's book
And
stuff,
remember
though,
in
man.
Daenerys'
See?
dreams, they said that the dragon has 3 heads.
Whose dreams? What?
When Daenerys was in the House of the Undying in her visions, they said that the dragon has 3 heads. And they've mentioned like the last 4 seasons that the dragon has 3 heads. Rhaegar always said the dragon has 3 heads. Who are the 3 heads of the dragon? She has 3 dragons. So like the 3-headed dragon is their sigil, but it's also like a metaphor of like, okay, there's 3 heads to the dragon. So you got Daenerys, who are the other 2 heads?
Bran.
Is that in? Are you saying it's got to be a Targaryen, or are you thinking just generally speaking, like who's going to come to her aid, or be part of her thing?
No, I think it's like more of like the Targaryen lineage.
So we're going to learn about maybe more that their lineage wasn't necessarily as dead as we thought. There's some more.
There's some more. I don't know, but I mean, I'm sure you could. But the Targaryens didn't just wed themselves. I mean, they wed through other bloodlines and stuff like that. Like,
right.
I don't know. It just seems like that there's a bigger picture to that.
Like I think there is too, because
she's not complete to fulfill her destiny until she gets all 3 heads of the metaphorical dragon.
Right.
I mean, that sounds like something this show would do. I could see that. Yeah.
Right, and it's like, does that mean like the 3 heads, or mean it's like the 3 who ride the dragons? But because they talk about when they talk about the Aegon the Conqueror, he's like he rode in with his 2 sisters on top of the dragon.
Yeah, they all rode the
dragon. And when they said Bran will fly instead of he will never walk again, but he'll fly, does that mean he's going to control one of the dragons?
I think he's going to warg a dragon. We discussed that. Yeah.
Yeah, we discussed that that it doesn't seem like there's any limits on what he can warg into. So eventually, it could be a dragon.
Right. I wonder which dragon it would be. I bet it would be like the biggest one.
The Dracarys.
See, now I still
Drogon.
don't...
Drogon is...
I had such an issue with the fact that they were calling one of them the Black Dragon when I always saw it as red, yellow, and green because of the wings. And so it was really confusing me when everyone was talking about the black one. I never looked at the red one as black, and then Jeremy was saying that one seems to be more aggressive than the other ones, and...
Right.
That was the one that snapped at her when it was eating in the first episode.
And then it showed her chaining the other ones up while they were eating, thereby showing these 2 are more docile than that one. But it never clicked that was the main dragon.
I mean, they said that the black one was getting much bigger than the other 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, and see, and I never even considered it as black. I always looked at it as red.
If you look at the size of them compared to like when she was like chaining them up, like compared to what they showed that big black dragon like flying above everybody, like flying over the goats and killing the goats and stuff like that. The thing was fucking huge. It was twice the size of the other 2
I would have liked to have seen all 3 dragons together then, because I didn't get that impression that one was severely outsizing the rest of them.
I think the only impression they gave us was that first scene when they showed all 3 dragons together. And they showed the 2 dragons bringing the goat, and then the big dragon kind of.
But they were all off in the distance, so we couldn't see size. You know what I mean? Like we didn't get that size comparison.
Like some of the people that came up, they kept saying like the big black one and stuff like that. But
yeah, I didn't put that together until like at the very end when they were saying, the black one was the one that blah blah, and I was confused.
What do you think happens with that? Where do you think they catch that dragon, or do you think they have to? Try to go restrain it, or do you think it just flies off and
I think we should stop right here and just talk all about dragons next time.
I think it's going to come back.
To her?
To her, but I don't think it's going to allow itself to be captured or controlled.
Or do you think it's going? And do you think it's going to be pissed off that
those
it's locked?
Those other 2 were very submissive and like let her like control them.
Right.
So like even like when they were feeding and eating that goat in like the first episode or whatever, that one, Drogon showed like that. It's like, hey, don't get near me, and it snapped at her.
Right.
I feel like she's finally realizing that one controlled. Maybe that's where.
So now, but we had this. I'm not doing anything.
Yeah. Oh.
We had this discussion about like.
No, he was fiddling.
The fact that the 2 dragons that she locked up aren't going to be too happy about that.
Yeah, that's going to kind of damage her relationship with them, I think.
Yeah, I know that. True.
And maybe even the black one. If the black one comes back and kind of sees that she locked those other 2 up, that he'll be even pissed at her.
What? No way.
Huh.
I mean, not like say, hey, I'm pissed at you, you know what I'm saying? But like be upset at the fact that she locked the
kind
other
of
2
turned
up.
against the dragons.
He'll look at it that way. Like maybe that dragon will see it that way.
I don't know. I don't know that this is going to be the last podcast about Game of Thrones.
No, I literally think next Monday we should just talk about dragons.
I mean, House Podcaster could keep going. I don't care.
I don't want to have there be too many. I mean, I guess we'll just have to limit the length of certain episodes. You know, if
Are
we're
you
gonna
worried
do,
about people listening
No,
to
if
us
we're
too
gonna do
much?
the leftovers too. No, it's a matter of time in
Well,
the
so
week.
why don't we just do one once a month or something like that until it comes back?
Oh, Game of Thrones wise? Okay. Yeah, we could do that.
I can't wait. I'm going to have notes.
So, see you next month, Miles?
Wait, no, LARPing before that. How much in advance do you need to LARP on a Sunday?
Miles.
All right, and Miles going through a tunnel right now. Or he
Right.
calls again.
How much advance notice would you need to LARP on a Sunday?
What's that?
How much advance notice would you need to LARP in Crown Point on a Sunday?
I don't know, like, a little over a week would be nice. Just because I split it up with times with my girlfriend. I was switching back, coming to the city and whatnot.
All right, fair enough. So what I can do is I can give you 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks notice, and like what we'll do is I'll tell you, hey, we're gonna do this in 3 weeks. Here's the rules. Come with your costume.
Yeah, that's down.
Right on, man. That works.
Okay, well, we're gonna do another one of these next month. We're gonna do one a month about Game of Thrones. So if you have any things you want to discuss, write them down, make a list, and we'd like to have you back next month if you're interested.
Maybe
Yeah,
even
for sure.
live in studio.
Yeah, I mean, maybe you could even come out. Well, it's tough with his work schedule,
I
it
get
seems
that,
like,
yeah,
but
yeah.
this seemed to work just fine,
Yeah.
apart from a few
Yep.
drop calls. So yeah, see you next month. Thanks for coming on, Miles.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Later,
Okay,
Miles.
Later.
Yep.
Okay, so
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah.
It's
So
been a good
once a
one.
month, huh?
once a month we're going to do this. You know what you guys should do more than once a month? You know how you use that website, Amazon.com, anyways?
Right.
What
There
you
we
should
go.
do is just go through comeuppance.com and click the little Amazon banner.
Right.
I'm not asking you to buy things. I'm saying you're going to buy them anyways. You will buy things from Amazon. That's just a fact. They're the biggest marketplace on the internet. So what you need to do is go to this site, comeuppance.com, and click on the side. I'm going to guess that if I point that way, it's going to work. To one of those two sides or above. It
The
could even be
Scarecrow
above.
from Wizard of Oz.
There's
This
an
is
Amazon
what's on
banner, and you need to click that and then buy things through it. So they give us a little kickback. It's the best way to support this show, other than leaving a comment or telling somebody else to watch it, is to buy shit through Amazon.
Okay, so wait, give me a minute on the LARPing here. All right, when we
Yeah,
started talking about
this is the LARPing section. If anybody gives, we're done talking about Game of Thrones. So if you want to tune out now, go ahead.
well, I don't want to talk about it too much, but this is the way I picture it. The other day, me and Joel were talking about like Sawyer and all his toys and stuff. And my favorite thing to do when I was growing up and was a kid was to take all my action figures. Didn't matter if they were He-Man, Ninja Turtle, whatever it was. Set them up on the kitchen table in the corner with the lamp and make it a huge battle royal.
Yeah.
Superman fights, whatever,
Yeah.
blah blah blah. That's what this realm and this LARPing should be. You know what I mean? You want to be a Ninja Turtle, be a Ninja Turtle. Who cares? You want to dress with a Captain America shield and a Nerf sword. That's the way it is.
Like I call Link in case I
he's
decide
gonna
to
be
get involved.
Zelda. He's gonna be
No,
Zelda.
I'm gonna be Link.
Zelda's the princess.
Yeah,
Right?
Zelda's the princess.
I never played Zelda, so I don't know.
It would obviously be the white costume that you can get at the end of the first video game. But
and I think it'll be a fantastic hit. Man.
it'll be 8-bit.
Okay. Now, see, my only problem with that
Go on.
is like, how do you do, like, you can't do, like, unless you do something like Miles said about, like, the beanbags or whatever. You
I already got
kinda,
it.
Like, you can't,
You-
like, Iron Man, doesn't
Listen,
really
You
fit.
can't fly.
Well, no, huh? So you can't fly. I mean, that's not.
But you can't. Iron Man like has missiles and shit like that. You can't.
You
like,
got
really,
we were
like-
talking about the Nerf dart
the Nerf
missiles.
missiles. It
Yeah.
would have to be Nerf. And you would just kind of tip the end of them with your
Yep.
color.
So, and here's the thing about the beanbags. Check it out. You can have up to 5 potions on you. Each color represents a different potion, a different spell, and you can only have 2 of each potion. So it means the most you can have on you at any time is 10 beanbags.
Well, you'd have to...
That's a lot of weight.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. If you want to
The
carry
most.
it, the most.
You don't have to carry all
Yeah,
that.
if you, dude, why wouldn't I make a?
But if you want to...
like, come on, orange is a fire. That means you burn. You burn. You sit down for 3 minutes.
So that's another thing you discussed.
That's what happens with burning.
Are you doing are we doing like a respawn thing? Like if you get killed, like you have to stand there for 3 minutes, or you have to walk back to a certain point.
Potions can't kill you. They can only cost you time. You want to play with potions, that's fine.
Throw the potion at somebody that burns them alive, they're dead. Right?
Well, it's not a burn alive potion. It's just a potion. It's just fire.
We're not writing anything down literally. So what the fuck?
We're just talking, guy. We're just getting
We're just
it out
talking it
there.
out.
These are issues that got to be discussed anyways.
Okay. So now if you throw a potion at me and I block it with my shield, right?
You're good.
That's it.
That's it.
No effect.
Nothing.
Maybe some splash over. Depends.
No effect. Nothing. No splash. If I have a shield and you throw a potion at me and I block it, that's it. Boom. The beanbag didn't hit you, right?
But
Right.
Same
he
thing
can't
about the
pick it up
Spider-Man
then
web.
and use it
No,
again.
it's dead.
No.
Once the potion can
You
only
could
be
pick it
thrown
up, but
once.
it's done.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like it would be dead. Like
Yeah.
It's like you threw a glass bottle and it busted.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So yeah, if you
'Cause
want
all
to carry,
potions are glass
if you want
bottles
to carry 10 beanbags
from
on you,
Zelda.
that's your thing. You're a wizard.
Right.
But why wouldn't I have? If let's say orange is fire and blue is ice, why wouldn't I carry?
Are we
one
having?
orange
Wait,
one?
if you could sing that to me, would it be a song of fire and ice?
It would be maybe.
You're discussing right now.
Yeah, but if I want to have one orange potion and one blue potion on me, I mean, what the hell? I already have a Captain America shield and a Nerf sword
God,
and a
I've
Superman
not
cape.
seen his brain function on that many levels in a while. You were just like, I could
Me?
tell. Yeah, your brain was clicking about many ideas just then.
I was
Wasn't
actually
it?
what it is.
listening to the screaming in the other room.
Oh, okay. I just
That's
felt
what I was
like you
looking
weren't
at.
Sorry.
there, so I felt like something else magical was going on, and you were just like,
I was at Walmart the other
Holy
day,
shit.
man. I saw some floor mats I'm going to use for my armor. It's
I-
going to be fantastic.
I
Just
mean,
wait.
I think making your own shit is the way to go. If we're gonna do it, I'm definitely gonna buy one of those cool ass swords off
oh,
that website.
I
I'm
think-
making it out of wood if I make a shield. I'm going to make a wood
I'm
fucking
using
shield and
I'm
stain
gonna
it.
use
and-
aluminum one, like a Captain America shield. That's what mine's gonna be like. But yeah, but if you want to buy the stuff, you can
It's
buy
going
the
to be
stuff
the
too,
Zelda
man.
sword, the Zelda
I don't know
shield.
that it can be wood. I think it would have to be some
It could
sort
be
of
light
foam.
wood. Why couldn't
Why?
the shield be wood? You're not hitting somebody with it.
Yeah, you do though.
But you don't, because it's a wooden shield. You wouldn't, because it's a
Yeah.
wooden shield, is what
See,
I mean.
I don't know. I would want mine to be made out of that same shit that the sword is made out of.
Yeah, but then you
So
hit.
that way I could hit you with it.
Well, then there you go. Then you could. It's his preference, guys. His
But I could
fantasy.
take I could
Who are
take
you
the
to
wood
judge how
sword
you-
and put a sleeve of foam over it
Yeah.
to still tap with. You know what I mean?
We're getting there, guy.
You just buy the Zelda sword. Imagine they have a foam.
They have the whole-
Well, I don't know if they have a
Zelda
foam
sword.
version one,
I
but
bet
if
they
they,
do.
yeah,
Yeah.
we'll see.
But we're
I just
getting
think it
there,
would be
guy.
cool to make a sword. Why not?
I'm just saying, well, you have to like if
be a
you're going
fun
to be
project.
swinging it and fucking flying around, you have
Oh.
to err on the side of safety. Like I don't want to get hit with a wooden sword wrapped in foam. I'm sorry, like that would probably still hurt.
Yeah, but if it was
But
a.
if you watch how they do it, you don't hit full swing. You don't do that. You tap somebody. You go. You're supposed to pull back as you're hitting.
But if you take a dowel rod, which isn't that big anyways, and then make the foam around the dowel rod, who cares what your blade actually looks like? If Joel brings a dowel rod wrapped in foam with a handle on it and he wants to use it, that's fine with me,
whatever,
man.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
that's-
we would have to test out how thick something could be before it became painful.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It could almost be like the rule of thumb for beating your wife.
Because when I was looking, man,
It can't be any wider than your thumb, the stick that you hit your wife with. That
When
was
I
an
was
actual
looking-
rule.
the training katana blades that they use for practice sparring are only $10, and they're not as detailed, but they're actually a way better construction, and they're gonna last longer. But I don't know how hard it's gonna hurt when I go to slice your rib cage and hit you with one of those. That's what I'm curious as to know.
Those little Nerf swords that I had at my house, those.
Yeah, but those things kind of sucked, bro.
They do.
I
but
mean,
what I'm saying is like I hit you with that, it fucking hurts.
it does.
Okay.
It does.
So if
What are you swinging fully because it's Nerf?
We were kind of going at each other, man,
Yeah.
pretty
But I'm
decent.
thinking like if you're out there fucking around like this, nobody's just gonna be like.
No,
It's not gonna be like that. Yes,
Yeah,
I'm gonna
Joel,
fucking
it's
swing
intense,
full
guy.
speed. Yes, that's the fucking.
There's
point.
not any really way to kind of just.
Well, then I can tell you that what I'll end up doing is making the handle of my sword and then putting it where I could screw on like a pool stick, the fucking real wood, the real stick, or the one for LARPing.
There you go.
Because I'm telling you, if I'm gonna do this at all, I'm going to build something out of wood and I'm going to stain it and it's gonna look badass and it's gonna be retro and it's gonna
That's
be
what I mean.
Zelda.
Like, I want a crest. I'm gonna have a
Okay,
crest on my armor, guy. I actually.
I'm not
Do you know a guy that
opposed
does
to you building
print
your own
stickers?
shield. I just don't know that you would be able to use the wooden shield during the actual gameplay.
Why wouldn't you be able to use the wooden shield?
Because I
for
don't-
protection, not
Yeah.
for aggression. I'm not Tyrion Lannister. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
stab somebody's fucking face
That's it,
in.
that's-
No, but I just don't. I think in the heat of the battle, like if I'm swinging my sword at your shield and I'm fucking whack my knuckles on your fucking wooden shield, I'm gonna be pretty pissed.
Well, yeah, but you know
what
what?
I'm saying?
Like,
His
While
metal
you're-
shield
while
would
you're
be
doing this
okay.
and trying to fucking block me. No, it can't be metal. That's what I'm saying. It can't be like, it's got to be made out of that latex shit. It's got to be foam. It's got to be something that you're not gonna.
So,
you know.
what about the Captain America shield, the plastic one? What's wrong with that?
That's what he's saying.
Because he's
I'm
got a
not saying
point.
that-
I mean,
like, I don't-
a garbage
like, I'm
can
saying,
lid
like-
would. I mean, that's a little. I
Like,
get.
what I'm saying is like you wouldn't necessarily be trying to whack me with the fucking shield. I get that.
Yes.
But if I'm swinging my sword, we're going at it, and I fucking hit my side of my hand or fucking hit my hand and break my fucking knuckles on the wooden shield, that's gonna.
I would say you need Braun to teach you.
See,
how to be
what
a
we need to do is figure out
Agreed, but
is how
considering
you
none of us are actual swordsmen.
can
correct.
pad your shield, man, and then what
I mean,
we do
I
is
could just as
we'll
easily
get him
do
to
that,
If it's
defend the
enough,
cover
you have a
for
wooden
it,
shield,
yeah.
and if it's padded with foam and shit like
Yeah.
that, then that's the.
It would just be like whatever Seth used in the studio in the new sound room there, where you just put that padding on the wall. Like
Yeah.
it would be something like that, where it could slip over the thing. Then, basically,
Man, that's not a bad. Man, that works for me. Because it's another thing. Like you can't, dude. There's no
I mean,
way.
to build a wooden Zelda shield, that would be badass.
We're
Don't get me
literally
wrong, I
going
don't
to
wanna,
play
like,
sword fight.
Inhibit any creativity here, but
Well, hold on, I
I'm
wanna
just trying to err on the side of being like not somebody not getting hurt doing this. you
And
know
it,
what
I'm
saying?
glad you said that because
'Cause I don't want to go to the
something
emergency
up.
room with.
Hold on, now
yeah,
wait
I
a
broke my
second.
fingers LARPing.
Hold on.
That's
You can't come
commitment
out and
right
do
there.
something like this and not expect to have a couple scrapes and bruises
No,
though.
that's
on
a
the
different story.
same on the same token. I mean, come on, man.
whatever
we
can
are
be,
sword
whatever we can do to avoid it.
Absolutely, I
should be
agree
done.
100%.
I'm
yes.
bow and arrow and shield. I mean, I'll probably have a sword too. But
Yeah.
Well, when somebody runs up on you, you can't get the fucking arrow out fast enough. You're gonna have to pull something
Yeah.
out to defend yourself.
But I mean,
with.
if you're running and somebody like throws a
I
hand grenade,
just realized how
fucking-
totally gay this all sounds
It's
when I
so-
said it as
Dude,
if I was involved just
because
then.
you care.
that
Like,
one sentence of saying things made me realize how terrible it all sounds.
it doesn't matter,
but-
man. I saw as two of our mutual friends. I'm not going to name any names. Well, one of them's a friend of ours, and he was with a hot blonde girl. But he's like, "Yeah, dude, I would do it." She even said she would play, man. I mean, that's fantastic.
I don't. Is there crying? Is that what
There's probably
There it is.
crying. Okay, whatever.
That's a
We'll
wrap.
talk to you guys next week. See you
do
later.
it. We'll do it live. We'll do it live, and we'll play it out.
Look at how cool Big L is with his blue shirt. See you guys later.
All these memories in my mind, my mind, my mind, my mind, my mind, my mind. I'm still a secret lemonade